Hello, hello, hello. How do you do? I'm glad to be with you, with you. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's another great opportunity to be with you live on the Grace Impact Radio, where word, music, and entertainment lives. It's a great privilege to have you here with me on the station. And I also want to appreciate those joining me on Facebook and those watching live on YouTube. You're welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, FBI Coach. It's one word, FBI Coach, one word. So, and remember to activate the notification button so that anytime valuable contents are dropped, you'll be the first to know. And my returning subscribers, I appreciate every one of you. Now, those joining me on Facebook Live, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And those joining on the Mixer app on the Grace Impact Radio, you are also welcome. Thank you for making out time to be with me today on the Financial Intelligence Moment with the FBI Coach. Now, today I'm going to be talking about something spectacular, something, I read this book several years back, and during the COVID-19, during the lockdown, I read the book again, and sometime last year, I read it again, and this time again, I decided to read this book because this book is loaded. This book has live applications that whoever reads this book shouldn't be poor. Now, I don't agree with all the principles in the book 100%. That's me. There are a few things I've been able to take away, but 99% of the nuggets shared in this book has not only made me a millionaire, it has made a lot of persons millionaire. It has changed the way we see money. It has changed the way we see wealth creation. It has changed the way we affect the lives of people. I'm going to be reviewing this book with you, not just today. There are 13 live applications. There are 13 mind-boggling strategies and templates, success templates in this book. So in the next 13 weeks, I'm going to be taking it one chapter at a time, because I want you to grasp everything that is in the book. Now, if you would, I would also recommend you buy the book and read along with me so that as we come here every week to dissect each of these chapters, it will also correlate with what you are learning. It will help you to internalize. I was talking to a friend some days back. I said one of the ways to retain what you learn is that after you have learned something, within 24 to 48 hours, look for 2 or 4 persons to teach that thing. When you do so, it helps you to internalize what you have learned. You discover that next time you are teaching people or you are talking to people about that particular thing you have learned, about that particular skill or the book you read, you will be dishing it out differently. Now, the first time I read this book was like 5 years ago, and if I could remember, I think it was 2017 or 2015 or 2015, Oh, did I say 5 years ago? It's more than that. About 2015, I read the book. That was the first time I read the book, and my mind was blown. I've heard of this book severally, and every time I look at it, I just keep a left eye. But one day, I decided to buy the book. And when I bought the book, I couldn't drop it. I finished the book. I picked it up again. I read it, and I finished it the second time with so many markings, so many nuggets here and there. Then I created a template, a training template. I remember I trained some of my team members in my network marketing business. I trained them on the principles in the book. We applied these principles as we go in the field, as we go to to prospect. I have applied these principles in virtually everything I do, and the results are glaring. The results are crystal clear. The results are right in my face. And I don't want you to miss any bit of this. Now, I want you to share this link, okay? Share it, share it, share it, share it. Invite others to join us. Let's be a blessing wholesale. Don't just consume alone, so that you will not have, what do I call this? I know it's constipation, but can someone give me a word? Can you drop it in the comment section? Whatever word that comes, or whatever adjective we can use to describe it. I mean, when you are consuming something, you are not sharing with others. Do you have a specific phrase you can use to describe it? It has to do with constipation, but mental constipation. I'm trying to place my finger on the right words to use. So share the link, invite others. Those on Facebook, tag others along in the comment section. Those on YouTube, share the link with your friends, your families, your loved ones, even your enemies. Share the link with them, because that will make them be at peace with you. Then those on the Mixer app, also share the link. Let's invite others to learn with us, okay? So shortly, I'll be unveiling the name of the book. I know you are so itchy to know which book is this man talking about. Relax, relax. Farabale, like the Yoruba man will say in Nigeria, Farabale, Kulu temper. So the nuggets in this book has transformed destinies. The principles in this book has changed lives for good. And I bet you, if you follow the principles in the book, you won't go wrong. The name of the book, ta-da! Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a wonderful book. This book, you see, to tell you how I so love this book, I had to also buy the electronic copy. I had to buy the electronic copy. You know, if I'm not reading the hard copy, I'm reading the e-copy. So if I don't have the hard copy with me, I have the e-copy. It's mind-blowing. So today, on today's edition, I'll be sharing with you chapter 1, which is basically the introduction of the book, what it talks about, my takeaway. And I believe if you have read the book, it will also be a refresher for you. It will help you to further internalize what you have learned. It will help you to, or did I say internalize? No, it will help you to refresh your memory, you know, to help you understand the things in the book. I don't know how many of you have read this book, but if you haven't gone through it, please go to the nearest bookshop and buy one. You can also order for it online. You can order for this book online. It gets to you. In Nigeria, in Nigerian currency, you can buy this book for about 2,000 naira, and 2,000 naira in dollars. I don't know how much it's sold on Amazon right now, okay, but you can check it out. The book is amazing. The book is life-changing. This book is, let me not give you further adjectives, you know, describing it. So let's go into what we have for today. Let's talk about chapter 1, my take home from chapter 1. Now, chapter 1, Napoleon Hill started with talking about, chapter 1 has to do with the power of thoughts. The power of what? Thoughts. You know, last week, was it last week or 2 weeks back? I can't remember the particular week. On this same station, I shared with you the laws of financial intelligence, the laws you need to practice to become financially free. And one of the laws which I talked about was the power of thoughts. The extract, you see, that particular law I talked about, it was extracted from this book. I did that training several years back, And recently I had to bring it back again and started working on it. Okay, the power of thoughts. And I said to you that thoughts are raw materials for creation of things. Thoughts are raw materials for creation of things invincible, something that is invisible. So everything that was created was first made possible in the mind via what? Thoughts. Everything that was created was first created in the mind. The microphone that is filtering the sound was first created in the mind. The chair I'm sitting on was first created in the mind. The data you are using to listen to my voice or view this video was first created in the mind before it became tangible. It was first of all created as an intangible resource before it became tangible. And I also said that, that on that training, on that broadcast, was that our imagination are a useful tool in the hands of God for creation. God will not create anything without your imagination being in place. He needs your imagination to work with you. Imagination is a compound word, image and nation. In other words, you can create anything you want to create from your mind. Nobody can stop you from creating anything. It all starts from what? Your mind. It all starts from what you are capable of creating. Now, the question is, what are you capable of creating? What are you creating out of your thoughts? What are you creating out of your mind? Power of imagination. You must learn to imagine things and bring it to fruition. Okay, so God works with our imagination. Your predominant thoughts, consciously or unconsciously, will ultimately become your reality. One of the things I have often said is the fact that whatever you hold so firmly in your thoughts will soon become your goal. And that goal will in turn become your reality. The good book says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. We live in a thought universe. We live in a universe where creation comes in two ways. First, as an invisible object, then it becomes what? Visible for everyone to see. So Napoleon Hill took time to explain the power of thoughts, how our thoughts are so powerful. And there's a phrase he used here. He said, truly, thoughts are things, and powerful things at that, when they are mixed with definiteness of purpose, persistence, and a burning desire. There are three key things: purpose, persistence, and a burning desire. And I always say to people that there are 3 P's you must keep in front of you at every point in time. If you want to succeed in life, there are 3 P's you must not let out of your sight. Number 1 P is that you must be persistent. Number 2 P, you must be positive. And number 3 P, you must be patient. You must be persistent. You don't have to give up. And here, Napoleon Hill is also talking about the same P. You must have a definiteness. You must be definite in your purpose. The good book says that a man who is unwavering in his thoughts, in his desires, cannot achieve anything. Faith is now. And faith means you must take a definite action. You must act in spite of fear. You must act in what? In spite of fear. So you must have a definite purpose. What do I want to achieve tomorrow? So once you have that definite purpose, you must be specific in all you do. Don't just say, I want to be rich. How do you want to be rich? You must be specific. You want to be rich in thoughts? You want to be rich in money? You want to be rich? Okay, I want to be rich in money. I want to be wealthy. How? How much do you think you want to earn? And you say, or you would have accumulated, or you have in your reserve, and you say you are wealthy. How much is, so you must be specific. We are in the second quarter of 2022. Now, before this, the first month of the second quarter runs out, how much do you want to make? You must be specific. That purpose must be definite. You must clearly define it. Then he talked about persistence. And I said, the 3 P's, you must be persistent. Don't give up so easily. You don't have to give up. You see, there's a particular statement Napoleon Hill used here. He said, when a man really desires a thing so deeply that he is willing to stake his entire future on a single turn of the wheel in order to get it, he is sure to win. That's talking about definiteness of what? Purpose. You must define your purpose, okay? You must define your purpose. I'm looking for the statement that talks about being persistent. Okay, so when you are really, I'll get it. When you are truly ready for something, what happens is that you put up an appearance. We have often said that the proof of desire is pursuit. I desire something, I have to pursue that thing. I desire to earn money. I desire to be wealthy. I desire to get out of eating from hand to mouth. I need to pursue it. I desire to create wealth via the digital world. I have to pursue it. I have to pursue it. Your desire must be definite. Or rather, your purpose must be definite. I beg your pardon. Then you must be persistent. And you must have a burning desire. You must have a burning desire that is unwavering, no matter the challenge that comes your way. Now, in this chapter 1, one of the things that impresses me most is the power of desire, the burning desire, the impulse of thoughts. The impulse of thoughts. He is sure to win. He knows what he wants. There's clarity. He knows what he wants. So talking about purpose and determination, you must be determined to remain ready. You must live ready. Mike Tyson, during his days, he doesn't come to the ring to prepare. He prepares before getting into the ring. When he gets into the ring, he displays his what? His authority. He displays his skills. So you must live ready. You must plan ahead of time. Don't wait until things begin to happen before you start planning. You must be ready. Ready to know, ready until, one of the things he spoke about in the book is that he talked about a young man who thought his way into partnership with Thomas Edison. The young man knew what he wanted. He knew that if he got into the company of Thomas Edison and asked him to employ him, he wouldn't employ him. So what did he do? He went to Thomas Edison and said, I want to partner with you. Let's do business. And from there, even though the partnership did not work, finally he got a place in his office to work. But the guy knows what he wanted. His purpose was clear. He waited on it until he got what he was seeking. So then he also talked about knowing what you want. How well do you know what you want? Some people don't know what they want out of life. That's why when you see Mama Nkechi selling NFTs, you say, okay, that's where it's happening now. You run into that place. You see Ugochi selling cryptocurrency. Okay, that's where it's happening. You run into that. You see FBI coach making money from trainings. Oh, okay, that's where it's happening. You must be clear on what you want. You can't do everything. You know, we have often said that people need to have multiple streams of income. But I've also come to realize that if the one you have is not standing on two legs yet, and you try to delve into another, there is every possibility that the one you were running before delving into the new one will suffer it. Because it's not on autopilot yet. So follow one course until successful, focus on one thing, get it done, get it moving on autopilot, then you diversify. Stop running helter-skelter. Sit down. God has given us the power of thought. He said, as a man thinks in his heart, that is how he is. Your thoughts are the summary of who you are. If you make a printout on a book right now or on a paper, and there's a typographical error on it, how do you correct that typographical error? Do you use Tipex and correct it? Okay, for example, you use Tipex, you correct it and go to the computer to print out again. Is it going to erase that typo? It won't. It won't, because that mistake is still there. How do you correct it? You go to the roots. You go to where you typed the document to edit what you have, to edit the mistake before printing out. In other words, you don't solve a problem. You don't color the leaves of a tree green. You know, the tree has yellow leaves and you color it green and feel, okay, I have solved the problem. No, you go to the roots. There's a problem with the roots. So if you're not producing the results you want, there is possibility that the thinking is wrong. When the thinking is wrong, the acting will definitely be wrong. When the thinking is wrong, the acting will definitely be wrong. So you must have clarity. You must have what? Clarity. You must know what you want, and determination to stand by that desire until it is realized, until it is achieved. One of the things that affects people, including me, is the fact that once we hit a stumbling block or we hit a brick wall, we tend to retreat. You don't have to. So Napoleon Hill is saying to us here, once you hit a brick wall, it is not time to retreat. You don't have to retreat. What do? You push a little further, because the success you are aiming at is just behind that facade called failure. It's only an event. You have not failed. It's only an event. You have not failed. There is a statement he made. I'm trying to read out. He said, it has, okay, he was talking about the guy, the young man who, his name is Burns, who wanted to work for Thomas Edison. And he said, it has a sly habit of slipping in by the back door. What I'm talking, he's talking about failures, disappointment has a sly way of, it has a habit of what? Slipping through the back doors. And often it comes in a disguised form of misfortune, of failure, or temporary defeat. You see, but you know what? This is why so many people fail to recognize opportunity, because success does not come fully dressed as success. Success comes dressed in a work clothes. You need to uncover the work clothes before you can enjoy the success. Okay, so you must. So he said the young man literally had nothing to start with except the capacity to know what he wanted and the determination to stand by that thing he wanted, by that desire until it is realized, until it is realized. You need to stand by what you want. I don't know how long you have been pursuing that dream, but first, you also need to make sure that the wall you are standing on is not leaning, or did I say wall? The ladder you are standing on is not leaning on the wrong wall. You need to be very clear about that. The ladder you are standing on, is it leaning on the wrong wall? So you need to retreat a bit, sit down, reassess what you are doing. Am I on the right path? Are these in sync with my goals, with my vision, with my life dreams? I have always said it, and I'm saying it again because it bears repetition. For me, my goal between now and 2025 is to ensure minimum of 10 million families are financially free by 2025. So the goal is, what am I doing? How am I going to achieve that? There must be a clear, measurable plan on how to achieve it. It must be stated clearly. If it is not clear, then it is not a goal. How do I want to achieve it? What do I want to do to achieve it? So I need to sit down. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, the things you are doing, what and what are they? So you must be very clear about what you want. You must be very clear, definite of purpose, okay? You must be very clear. And he also shared a story of Ford Motors, Henry Ford, how he told his workers, his staff, his engineers, that he wants a V8 motor. He wants them to manufacture, to cast a V8 engine. And his workers said it's impossible. They can't achieve that. How can they do it? Has never been done before. Thomas Edison said to them, I want it done. I don't care how you're going to go about it, but I want it done. And they said to him, oh, no. From the book, it was stated that the first 6 months passed, the second 6 months passed again, no story, no news. They came back to Henry Ford and said to him, we can't achieve this. Henry Ford said to them, I want it done. And suddenly, there was an opening. And suddenly, there was an opening. Do you know what that means? Keep working until you make it. Don't accept impossible. Don't accept no for an answer. That word NO for me means next opportunity. I don't see NO as I have failed. I don't see NO as, oh, this person has disappointed me. How many failures have you experienced? How many disappointments have you experienced? How many persons have said no to you? How many times has your proposals been rejected? How many times have you applied for a job and you didn't get it? You don't have to give up. What you should see, the principle remains the same. What you should do is to change your strategies. So for those applying for jobs and you're not getting it, it's most likely you need to go back and add more skills to yourself and upgrade your CV. You are applying for contracts here and there. It has happened to me. There was this particular company I applied for to train their staff, and they turned down my CV. Okay, I applied another time. Did I say CV? They turned down my request. They turned down my application, my proposal. And the third time, what I did was I wrote a different letter offering them a free training that they should just give me 2 hours of their time to train their junior staff on a particular topic. I can't remember the exact topic, but I did a research about the company, And I even had to go there to ask some of the junior staff questions and what are the things they need. Do you think if it's added to your workforce, it will be better? And by the time they shared all those stuff with me, I came back and I prepared a training module. And all these things they shared with me were in line with what I have always done. So what did I do? I changed the strategy. I went to the company. It's a multinational company, very big company, oil servicing company. So I went to the company and offered the training. Okay, I submitted the proposal. This time around, I wrote it boldly. I'm offering a free training to see what the capacity I'm made of. So the manager and a few other senior officers came to, they gathered about 15 or 20 of them, either 15 or 20, and I tore down the microphone. Right there and then, the man said, no. You see this particular training you just did? You are going to repeat the same training for the senior staff, but this time, let's negotiate. So let's go back to that, your proposal. And that was how I found my way into the company. Now, if I had continued submitting proposal the way I have always been submitting, I might not have gotten that opening. So sometimes what you need to do is to check your strategies, okay? Check your strategies, find what you need to tweak, but don't accept no as an answer. You don't have to accept no. Keep working. Keep working. And from that company, I also got other opportunities, all right? Then he talked about persistence. And this persistence was gotten from the story of the 3 feet from the guys, the uncle and his friend or brother called Debbie, who were digging for gold. They were mining gold, and they were just 3 feet to getting the gold, and they quit. Why did they quit? Because they felt they were on endless journey, you know? And he said here, one of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. Everybody experiences temporary defeat. But how do you handle it? How do you handle it? So number one, take home from me is to use consultants, seek for mentorship, seek for counsel. Use consultancy to analyze what you're doing before you quit. Don't just quickly run and throw in the towel. It might be that you are just 3 foot from getting the gold. So what did they do? The uncle and Debbie sold the mine to what did he call it? A junk. Yeah. Finally, they decided to quit and they sold the machinery to a junk. Yeah, a junk man. But this man, and he said here, not some junk men are dumb, but this one, but not this one. So the junk man called a mining engineer, he called an expert and asked the expert to analyze this field for me, this mine. So after the expert analyzed the whole thing, he told him that the gold is just 3 foot away from making him a multimillionaire. And that was how the junk man became a multimillionaire. So you don't have to give up so quickly. Learn and know how to handle temporary defeats. Learn temporary defeats. Know how to handle it. You know your elastic limits. You should know how to handle it. Don't just throw in the towel. Oh, it is not working. See, in the face of every defeat, there is a miracle. In Nigerian yard or in Nigerian palace, we call it, we say it is not a roadblock, it's a bending corner. Means it's a deter. It's a deter. It's not the end of the road. is a deter. So you need to find a way to manage your failures. You need to find a way to manage your defeats, because those defeats are temporary. They are not permanent. It's a temporary process. More gold has been mined from the brains of men than ever taken from the earth. That's a quote from the book. More gold have been mined from the brains of men than ever taken from the earth. Have you tagged your friends in the comment section, those on Facebook? Have you shared this link with your friends? Have you invited them to join us? Please, if you haven't, kindly do that. And I forgot to say to you, please tell me, those watching on Facebook and on YouTube, please tell me where you're viewing from. Now, those on the Mixer app, if you are using the app, you can type a comment, tell me where you are listening from, okay? So he said that more gold has been mined from the brains of men than taken from the earth. In other words, the brain has infinite possibilities. The brain has endless opportunities. We have not tapped one. I don't know how to describe this. Infinitesimal. See, we have not tapped anything from the brain. We haven't. Recently, a young man, I was scrolling through the social media, Instagram precisely, and I saw a video of a youth copper. It was shared by one of the blogs. A youth copper who took a picture of an elderly man. You know, the elderly man who usually come to drum at their CDS center. He's a youth copper. CDS means Community Development Service. Am I correct? If I have, yeah, CDC, is it CDC or CDS? Community Development Center, where they gather before they dispatch to their place of primary assignment. So this elderly man usually come there to drum, and this guy has skills in photography. So he used his camera to snap this man. He took the picture and he went on NFT. NFT is the non-fungible tokens. He sold the picture on NFT, and the video, and the youth copper said he wouldn't have spent this money alone. He had to look for the man to share the money with him. He divided the money into 50-50. And from the bundles I calculated, he gave the man 500,000 naira. I mean, an old man, an elderly man, an elderly man who usually come to drum to seek for alms. You know, he just to entertain them, and they will give him the little change they have in their hand. And here he is, going home with hundreds of thousands. That was made possible because of the metaverse. And the metaverse was created out of the mind of men, out of thoughts. So there's so much you can achieve. The word imagination is a compound word, image and nation. Sometimes I sit down and I'm imagining myself sitting with the presidents of nations, and I'm addressing them. And I'm holding that thought so firmly in my heart that soon it will become a reality. I'll address Committee of Nations. I'll address presidents. I'll address prime ministers. Nothing stops, nothing should limit your imagination. I remember back in the days, some countries I imagined traveling to, I've seen myself step into these countries by virtue of the skills I have. I've imagined speaking on some podiums, and I've seen myself speaking on these podiums by virtue of what? Harnessing the gift which God gave to me. On one of the topics I treated on this channel, I talked about the 5 places your money is hiding. And I said your money is hiding in people, your money is hiding in problems, your money is hiding in opportunities, your money is hiding in your gifts and talents, and your money is hiding in your what was the 5th one? Your money is hiding in people, money is hiding in problems, money is hiding in opportunities, your money is hiding in gifts and talents, and your money is hiding in, I can't remember the 5th one, but because God deposited gifts in everyone, I started working on my gift. I wasn't born a talker. I didn't study anything about talking in school. I studied engineering, but I don't know where the screwdrivers and spanners are today. The only screwdriver and spanner I know today is in my tongue. Talking. I talk to live. So you can harness the gifts you have. You can develop those skills. Okay? Before success comes in any man's life, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. Failure is a trickster with a keen sense of irony and cunning. Failure is a trickster. Failure is deceitful. Okay, so if you allow it to overcome you, then you will be considered a failure. You don't have to allow temporary defeats to overcome you. Okay, so you need to know that the mind of man, the brain of man has not been mined enough. Okay, and he also talked about learn from every situation, analyze them, and find the lessons they teach you. Learn from every situation, analyze the situation, and find the lessons they teach you. I tell people, when you lose money, don't lose the experience. You see, there are so many things I have lost money on, but I don't consider it a failure. I don't consider it that I lost money in it. I only consider it that these are school fees I have paid to learn better. Some of these school fees are biting. I'm talking about millions, but then it has made me wiser. I analyze the situation and I learn from it. And I use this situation, the things I learned from this training, to also teach my community. I put it in training packages and I teach my people. I train companies, I train conglomerates on it. And I make money, I smile to the bank. Okay? So learn from every situation. Don't consider every situation to be a failure. Learn from it. And that's what Napoleon Hill is saying to us in this book. Analyze the situation. Analyze it. And find lessons from it. Find lessons from it. And he also said that riches begins with a state of mind and definite of purpose. For you to be wealthy, it starts from your mind. Money, first of all, comes to your mind before coming into your hand and your bank account. We are living magnets. You are either attracting money or you are repelling money. I was discussing with a small business owner. She sells clothes, shoes, bags, and all that. And while we were talking, she said that sales is bad, economy is bad. This one, there are so many people doing the same business. They have so much money, but she doesn't have. She's still doing her boot sales. And from boot sales, she opened a small shop. She was pointing out all the woes, all the failures, all the disappointments. And I was listening to her. And at the end of the day, and I said, okay, you have just listed about 10 reasons why this business is failing. And I said to her, can you list out 10 reasons why this business will succeed? She said that I can't think of anything. I said, no. If you say you can't, you can't. You are right. And if you say you can, your mind, your RAS, your reticular activating system will start working in helping you identify ways, opportunities on how you can make it possible. So, do you think you can identify means, ways by which this business can work? I want you to list out 10 reasons, 10 things you need to do. So she started writing, and last week we met, and she showed me 10 reasons why the business will work. She said to me, Charles, thank you very much. Now I know where my problem is. You know, she focused on the economy is bad, the government is not doing this, the roads are bad, no lighting system, people need to eat first. I said, who told you people are not putting on clothes? Who told you people are not buying shoes? We are living magnets. We attract what we think. If you think that business is a failure, it becomes a failure. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. No, you don't have to. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you need to do is just to leverage on what someone else has done. It is called modeling. You are not copying, you are modeling. Copying means if the person writes A, you write A. If the person writes B, you write B. But modeling means if the person writes A, probably the person wrote in capital letter A, you model what the person wrote and write yours in small letter A. And not just small letter A, your small letter A has a special character on top of it. You are modeling, you are trying to tweak, you are trying to change a few things to suit your environment, to suit your business. So riches begin with the state of your mind and with a definite purpose. You must clearly define the purpose of going into this business. You must clearly define the reason why you are doing what you are doing. I met a young man who is 38 years old, and he's still writing JAMB to enter the university. And I said to him, see, at 38, who's going to pay your school fees? He said, well, his parents, his uncle. I said, look, you are trying to become a liability to someone else. Who told you you can't go to school much later in the years? Now, what you should be thinking of now is income. The life of man is made up of 4 stages. We have the money stage of life. The money stage of life is from 0 to 25. And this money stage of life is your foundational stage. It's the stage where you learn everything you know today. And we have the afternoon stage of life. Now, in this money stage of life, it is expected that you must have graduated from the university and you're working. And for those who decide not to go to university, it is expected at this money stage of life, on or before 25, you should have a solid income stream. Now, if by chance or by circumstances you missed your money stage of life, then you will be in your afternoon stage of life. The afternoon stage of life is from 26 to age 55. Life expectancy has made it 55. It used to be 50, but life expectancy has made it 55. The afternoon stage of life is your prime state. That's the stage where you hire, you fire, you decide how you want to earn, where you want to earn, with whom you want to earn, why you want to earn. Now, young man, you are in your afternoon stage of life and you want to start doing the things you ought to have done in your money stage of life. I said to him, that is an error. So what you should focus on, and this guy doesn't have any income stream. He doesn't have any business. He doesn't have anything he's doing that is putting money back into his pocket. And he's thinking of writing JAMB, going back to university. I said to him, look, go and look for a job. Go and get a job. Even if it's a cleaner, get a job. Now, while on that job, learn a skill. The reason why I say he should get a job because he needs to have something that will put money back into his pocket to feed himself, to clothe himself, to buy his toiletries, so that he won't keep begging from dynasty to diarrhea, moving from one uncle to another auntie. I told him to go get a job. He said, he wants to become a millionaire. I said, look, except you want to cut short your destiny. Now, the next thing that was coming into his mind was to go and start doing the internet fraud, which is called the Yahoo business. I said, you are crazy. You are crazy. Those that are in it are trying to come out and you want to delve into it. You are crazy. I told him to get out of my sight. So eventually, he went to get a job with an eatery as a cleaner or something. I can't remember, but he got a job. He was paid a few thousands. I said to him, fine, you have a job. That is not your destination. That is what? Not your destination. You are only en route. You are only passing through. You are learning experiences. Now, what I want you to learn from this job is work ethics. Learn structures. But start, and let me not give you so much, because I also talked to him about systems. But first of all, learn work ethics. And he said, what do I mean by work ethics? I said, look, why should you be prompt at work? Why should you work for someone else? What does it take to work for someone else? The man who owns this business, what goes through his mind every day? These are the things you should think of and learn these strategies. Now, while you are learning it, on the side, learn a skill. During your spare time, learn a skill. So he said he wants to learn the high income skill. He wants to join my high income skill training so he can learn a few skills. I said, fine, that's fantastic. You have your data, you have your smartphone, let's get going. And today, this young man still kept his job, but he sells digital products. And his digital product is already on Facebook ads and Instagram ads. So every day he makes minimum of $5 to $10, no, between $3 to $5, sometimes $10 every day, selling digital products. My next high income skill training starts on the 1st of May, 2022. So if you haven't registered, my number, my WhatsApp number is +234 7033 90 +234 7033 109363. I'll take that again. +234 7033 109363. +234 70, that is 3310 9363. So if you have not registered, please chat me up on WhatsApp. There is so much to learn from the high income skill training, and I'm giving you an opportunity to also learn from my wealth of experience. So this young man, he makes a lot of money. He still kept his job. He's saving some money for to further his education. And I told him you can also start up part-time. Now you are making money from the digital world. Start looking for a different job that will give you more time and you will learn more things. The essence of the job is not for you to just remain there. It's just a passing phase. It's just more like a transit. You know, you're traveling from one country to another, and you buy your tickets, and the airline they are transiting from one country to another. That is exactly what you are doing. Okay, so I told the young man to learn new things. Okay, he's learning, he's undergoing my mentorship, and his mind is changing. So you must be clear about what you want. And Napoleon Hill also said that success comes to those who become success conscious. Are you success conscious? Like what I was saying to that lady, you know, that has a boutique. She was more of failure consciousness. She had failure consciousness than success consciousness. And Napoleon Hill says that failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. She was overwhelmed with the situation going on around the country, because Mr. A is not selling, Mr. B is not selling, doesn't mean you cannot sell. But by the time I worked on her mindset, she became success conscious. Okay, so the main weakness of mankind is in the average man's familiarity with the world of impossibility. We have this average mindset that stops us from thinking big. See, oftentimes, the reason why people fail is not because they don't have big dreams, but it's because of lack of commitment. How committed are you? And I'll share a story to buttress this point. One day, the hen and the pig were discussing. They asked themselves, okay, the hen came to the pig and said, I notice men are emaciated, they are growing lean. What are we going to do to make them add weight? What are we going to do to change their life? And the pig said to the hen, I don't know, what do you think we should do? So the hen said to the pig, let's give men eggs and ham, and it will make them fat. So the pig smiled and said, wow, that's interesting. You have made a very wonderful suggestion. But guess what? You are only involved, but I am committed to this cause. And the hen said to the pig, how do you mean? And the pig said, to give men eggs, what happens is that you lay the egg and walk away. You are only involved. But to give men ham, you need to kill me, dissect my flesh to give men ham. So I am committed to this cause. So the reason why most people fail is not because they don't have big dreams. It's not because they don't have big visions, but they are only involved. They are not committed. You must be fully committed. And that's what Napoleon Hill is saying in this book, that you must be fully committed to that cause. You must be success conscious. Simplicity, he used this word, simplicity, that we should use simplicity of Ford's success. That's when he told them to manufacture the V8 engine. And he didn't break his head. He just said, I want it done. I don't care how you're going to do it. I want it done. He made it so simple, yet he got his success. There's a statement, a quote in that book that says, I am the master of my fate. It was Henley. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. Henley stated that I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul, because we have the power to control our thoughts. God created you and I and gave us the power to control our thoughts. He gave us the power to choose, the power of choice. He gave us that freedom to choose what we want. So how do you control your thoughts? You have the power to control what you are, the master of your fate. That's why we say that our destinies are in our hands. You become what you think most of the time. You become what you focus most of the time. Either your environment or circumstance, or that is where you live. Yeah, where we live in is filled with form of universal power. God releases power. God releases the gifts, everything, opportunities around us. But what do we do with it? It's dependent on whom we are. God has released his powers, his gifts, everything for us. It's now left for us to make most of it. There is another quote in the book that says that our brains become magnetized with dominant thoughts we hold, and these magnets attract us to the forces, the people, the circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. What this simply means is that we attract whom we become. We attract our thoughts. we attract whom we become. We attract our thoughts. We attract, our thoughts becomes a dominant force, which attracts, which magnetize what we think most of the time. We magnetize what we desire. We maintain a spirit of open-mindedness. So basically, Napoleon Hill is talking about how forceful the power of thoughts can be. Okay, so that's most of the things he talked about in chapter 1. Okay, Henry Ford is a success because he understands and applies the principles of success. Henry Ford became a success because he understands and applies the principle of success. One of these principles is desire, knowing what you want. You must be definite in your wants, in your desire. He also said that we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches. How wealthy do you want to be? My Big Daddy preached a message and said, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How bad do you desire financial freedom? How bad do you desire to make more sales? How bad do you desire to transform your life? I'm organizing a free training. It's going to be a 2-day training on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I want you to take advantage of this training. It's going to be on the 12th and the 13th. That training, I'll be teaching a lot on financial intelligence. In that training, I'll be teaching part of why money doesn't stay in your hands. I'll be talking about why you are not making enough sales. I'll be talking about how to become financially free. So I don't want you to miss that training. It's going to happen live on the 12th and on the 13th, but you need to register. Go to my Instagram handle, FBI Coach 1. Instagram handle, FBI Coach 1. The one is figure 1. For those watching on the YouTube and Facebook, it's going to flash on the screen. FBI Coach 1, figure 1. Go to my Instagram handle on my bio. The link is there. Get registered immediately to seal your stop, to see your spot. I beg your pardon. It's going to be a swell time. It's going to be a great time. Let's learn together. I believe you got something from today's training. It might be night where you are. It is morning where I am right now. It might be afternoon where you are. I don't know what time is it. It is right now, but then I believe you got value from this. So we have dissected the first part of the book, the chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which talks about the power of thoughts. In the next 13 weeks, I'll be dissecting the remaining principles. In the next 12 weeks, because there are 13 principles, we have just taken one. I'll be dissecting the remaining principles in the next 12 weeks. So get the book, read along, just read one chapter every week. Try not to finish it. If you can finish it, fine, but just make sure you read with understanding, you dissect that chapter very well. Okay, let's learn along. Okay, so read the next chapter, chapter 2. By the time we are coming back next week, we will share it together. All right. And also remember to drop in the comment section what you have gathered from today's training, what you have learned from the things I shared. And peradventure you read the book before now, you can also share your ideas, your points, what you have gathered from the things from the strategies which Napoleon Hill shared. I believe it's been a mighty and wonderful time sharing with you on the Grace Impact Radio, where word, music, and entertainment lives. It's been my pleasing pleasure and a privilege to be your host on the Financial Intelligence Moment with the FBI Coach. I appreciate everyone joining me from different parts of the world. All the listeners from different parts of the world, all my viewers from different parts of the world. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I look forward to having you in the class on the 12th and the 13th of this month of April. 12th and the 13th of this month of April. The link to register is on my Instagram bio, FBI Coach 1. Get registered immediately. Don't miss it because it promises to be great. It's a free training. You're not paying anything. It's part of my own way of giving back to the society. It's part of my own way of also fulfilling my 10 million families that should be financially free by 2025. And I want you to be financially free because I am committed to your financial success. Until I come your way again, I remain one and only the FBI Coach, Charles Eze. By the way, FBI stands for Financial and Business Intelligence Coach. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and have a wonderful day.